5 new horror movies coming soon, October to December 2019. Horror movies are year-round audience favorites, and the screamfest keeps rolling, with more scary flicks screening in the last 3 months of 2019. So aside from high-profile horror film releases from major studios, watch out for these 5 other horror attractions you can binge on from October until December. Number 5, Eli. Streaming date October 18th, 2019 on Netflix. Netflix is set to blow away movie aficionados as it unleashes a last quarter storm with the release of big-budget movies, prestige films eyeing Oscar recognition, and the all-time favorite horror movies. The American horror movie Eli is one of them, which Netflix purchased its distribution rights from Paramount Pictures after it tested well with audiences. Eli is a young boy who receives treatment for a rare and debilitating autoimmune disease in a secluded clinic from a doctor whose experimental treatments may be Eli's last hope. As Eli undergoes the medical process, the clinic becomes a haunted prison without a way out. Or could there be a way out? Charlie Shotwell, who appeared in 2016's Captain Fantastic, gets his biggest break, playing the central character Eli. He is supported by Lily Taylor, Sadie Sink, Kelly, Riley, and Max Martini. Eli is directed by Ciarán Foy, who's best known for his Irish psychological horror film Citadel and the supernatural horror movie Sinister 2. You'll meet and sympathize with Eli starting on October 18th on Netflix.
You're gonna get better.
Number 4, The Lighthouse. Release date October 18th, 2019. Would a black and white horror film set the mood for a pleasurably frightening viewing experience? That's one of the big come-ons of The Lighthouse, starring Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, and directed by Robert Eggers, who debuted in the successful 2015 horror film The Witch. Pattinson and Dafoe play 2 lighthouse keepers whose gritty adventures are chronicled in the movie. They're faced with a deeply affecting solitude which makes them start to lose their sanity and become threatened by their worst nightmares. Before its commercial release, the film has already made rounds of prestigious film festivals. In May this year, it had a world premiere at the Cannes Film Festival in the Director's Fortnight section, where it won the International Federation of Film Critics Award. The film also screened at the Toronto International Film Festival last September. It enjoys a 93% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, with critics describing it as a gripping story, brilliantly filmed and led by a pair of powerhouse performances. The Lighthouse further establishes Robert Eggers as a filmmaker of exceptional talent. Inside the dark cinema, let your imagination run wild when The Lighthouse scares moviegoers starting October 18th.
How long have we been on this rock? 5 weeks? 2 days?
Number 3, Holiday Hell. Release date November 1st, 2019. Shopping for the holidays is therapeutic and relaxing for some people, while others find it dreadfully stressful. But in Holiday Hell, Christmas shopping becomes a horrifying experience that turns the joyous holiday into hell. The horror movie is an anthology of 4 short films anchored on a wraparound story. During Christmas Eve, a woman doing her last-minute shopping enters a curiosity shop and meets a mysterious store salesman. As she asks about some items, the storekeeper tells her horrific stories about killer dolls, witches, and psycho Santa Clauses. The woman has until midnight to choose the gift she wants, but she feels danger is lurking just around the corner. Will she be able to choose wisely and escape a hellish holiday? At the center of the core narrative, playing as the salesman, is Jeffrey Combs, who has appeared in dozens of horror movies, notably Reanimator, Dark House, and Would You Rather. Each of the 4 short films in Holiday Hell is a different story, so experience terror times 4, starting November 1st.
All of the objects in here have a story that's never been told.
Number 2, Little Monsters. Release date November 15th, 2019. After the resounding success of her first ever horror movie Us, directed by Jordan Peele, shown in March this year, Lupita Nyong'o is capping off 2019 with a zombie apocalypse horror comedy movie Little Monsters. This Australian-American-British production had its world premiere at the Sundance Film Festival on January 27, 2019.
1, 2, 3, eyes on me! 1, 2, eyes on you!
Nyong'o, an Oscar Best Supporting awardee, plays the charming and enigmatic teacher, Miss Caroline, who takes her kindergarten class on an excursion to Pleasant Valley. when a failed military experiment in a nearby army base lets loose a bunch of zombies. Armed with no weapons other than her resourcefulness, Miss Caroline wards off the zombies while trying to keep the children safe. How? She tries to convince them that the zombie invasion is a massive game and gets them all to play along.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Little Monsters also stars Australian actors Alexander England and Kat Stewart, and Josh Gad, who is best known as Olaf's voice in Frozen, and as LeFou in 2017's Beauty and the Beast. Catch Miss Caroline and the Little Monsters on November 15th.
Lieutenant, sir, why are we here? It's zombies again.
Number 1, Daniel Isn't Real. Release date December 6th, 2019. Yes, the character of Daniel in the horror thriller film Daniel Isn't Real is indeed unreal.
I had an imaginary friend when I was a kid.
He's just an imaginary childhood friend resurrected by Luke, a troubled college newbie who's facing a rough and violent family trauma. Luke seeks the help of the charismatic Daniel to get through his crisis and achieve his dreams, which Daniel willingly does. But the imaginary pal's sinister persona takes over, pushes Luke to the brink of insanity as he grapples desperately in gaining control of his mind and soul. Based on the Brian DeLuise novel In This Way I Was Saved, Daniel Isn't Real had its world premiere at South by Southwest on March 9th, 2019, where it earned overwhelmingly positive reviews, including the performances of Patrick Schwarzenegger as Daniel and Miles Robbins as Luke. The horror flick holds an approval rating of 91% on Rotten Tomatoes based on 11 reviews, which gives horror fans great reason to flock to the theaters when Daniel Isn't Real is released on December 6th. It promises great movie watching time, and that's for real. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to our channel for your daily fix of awesome infotainment.